A first alert now out of North Carolina, where the State Court of Appeals ruled in favor of a candidate in a tight Supreme Court race challenging more than 65,000 ballots.
The judges are now giving voters 15 days to provide missing information in order for their ballots to count. Now, this all started after Election Day in November, and after 2 recounts. The State Board of Elections determined that Democratic candidate Justice Allison Riggs defeated Republican State Appeals Court Judge Jefferson Griffin by just 734 votes out of 5.5 million casts. Now, Griffin sued and is challenging more than 65,000 ballots. Now, Griffin's legal team is going after ballots for various reasons. In some cases, their driver's license or social security number may be missing from the state elections database. In other cases, their names may have changed or are spelled differently, or they may have registered to vote before certain documents were required. He's also challenging overseas and military voters who are not required to show photo ID. Now, Griffin claims all these votes may have been fraudulent and should be thrown out. Now, the legal fight has been making its way through the courts for months. State election officials say overseas voters are not required by state law to show photo ID. But Griffin's attorneys said the State Board of Elections misinterpreted that law. Meanwhile, Riggs' lawyer says those voters followed the rules that were in place at the time. Now, 2 weeks ago, the State Court of Appeals heard arguments in this case. And since Griffin is on the court, he recused himself. But today, in a 2-to-1 ruling, they sided with Griffin, saying the State Election Board should not have counted the ballots. The court is giving voters with challenged ballots 15 days to provide missing information and photo IDs. The court did rule that ballots from overseas voters who have never lived in the U.S. should be thrown out. Now, the State Board of Elections says that the ruling will likely be appealed and that the order has not taken effect. The board says if and when the order is in effect, they will give instructions to affected voters on how to ensure that their ballots are counted. And we spoke with Dr. Chris Cooper today at Western Carolina University, who says this entire situation is unprecedented.
It's such an unusual situation. We're having this conversation, obviously, in early April about an election that took place in November. So I still continue to find myself shocked that we're even having the conversation in the first place.
Now, we reached out to Griffin's campaign. They sent us a statement saying, in part, quote, today's ruling affirms that the State Board of Elections failed to apply the laws that govern our elections. We stand by the process of allowing the State Board of a second chance to do its job and ensure that only eligible voters cast ballots in our elections. This is a win for the citizens of North Carolina. Justice Allison Riggs issued a statement saying that she plans to appeal. She said, in part, quote, North Carolinians elected me to keep my seat, and I swore an oath to the Constitution and the rule of law. So I will continue to stand up for the rights of voters in this state and stand in the way of those who would take power from the people.